Good evening, afternoon, etc., ladies and gentlemen. Corecat13, that gal with the deep voice. And I'm kind of curious to see what she's curious about. What you looking at, girly? Is this something interesting? Is this something revolutionary? Will it change the world? No, it's just a radio. Alrighty, last time we left off here in A Hat in Time, we completed a good chunk of World 2, actually. But now it is time for the most important part, the time rifts. And these are actually some of the shortest levels in the game. I mean, the regular ones are anyway. The purple one, oh boy, I have a lot to say about that one, trust me. I have a big thing that I've always wanted to talk about with that particular stage. But anyway, enough of that, let's focus on this stage. I forgot to turn off the auto skip cutscene. Alright, whatever. It'll be back on by the time we get into the next time rift. But anyway, glitch. Fuck you, glitch gremlin. Fortunately, that's the only mistake in this stage. Alright, so this one is very heavily focused on the switch gimmick from level 4, which really does raise the question, why didn't it appear in level 4? But I'm not the game designer. But, you know what? If I was, that's where I would have put it. But, yeah, that's actually really all there is to the stage. It's basically just a very linear path, along with these wonderful hourglass platforms. I'm going to be stuttering throughout the majority of this video, so I apologize. But that's not to say that there's nothing to learn. If you actually do exactly what I did just there, you will always be within about a second or two before those platforms flip to show their switches. It's that easy. You get to flip a switch on a switch. That was a horrible pun, I apologize. And it doesn't make sense if you're playing the PS4 version, or is this game on Xbox? I don't know. I know it's on PC because my computer doesn't want to run it, so whatever. Let's climb on up here and turn on these switches here, avoid the tanukis, and yeah, that's all she wrote. This is legitimately one of the shortest stages in the game. But you know what? That's fine. You need short stages here and there. And you know what? With all the long stages we've been doing lately, this is a breath of fresh air. Now let's see what our prizes are. And we make it back to the roulette table. Are we going to get a good prize? We see the Santa hat. We see the Santa hat again. Let's see if we get it again. Yes, we do. Christmas comes early. Well, that was better than the last two takes. Alrighty. So we go from a kind of delightful one to a not quite as delightful one. This one's actually one of my least favorite time rifts. And it's mostly because of the jumps you have to make in this one. This is the same basic idea as the last one, but made harder, which I respect. But you want to know one of the ways they made it harder? Yeah, the shadow clones are back. And they're back full force, baby. So don't stand around for too long. If you need to take a break for a minute to rearrange the camera, be sure you're moving around a little bit. Also, like, comment, subscribe. What? I was saying it fast. I might as well. But the other way they made this hard is the jumps are ridiculous in this one. Like, legitimately, during my first few rounds with A Hat in Time, literally spent, no joke, probably an hour or two on this stage alone. Just because I couldn't make the jumps. I legitimately had to look up a walkthrough to figure out what I was doing wrong. And even then, I still don't know how to fully do this part, but somehow I managed to do it kind of okay this run. But then again, I was listening to the fangirl talk about Coraline, so there you go. I had happy reinforcement. Also, you're about to see here why I don't like these shadow clone knockoffs. That's why. Wait for it. Yeah, those guys are cheap pieces of shit, aren't they? But fortunately, You fall into a pit, they fall into a pit. So it resets them. Hallelujah. But now we're about to come to the jump that really made me want to throw my controller out the window. Come on, get to the jump. I need to show the wonderful people what jump I'm talking about. Climb up the wall, like the kitty cat that you are. There it is. Oh god, this jump. Now, that looked easy, right? Well, on my practice run, I kid you not, that took me 5 tries to do before I finally figured out what the pattern was. And I only just now figured out how to time that properly. So yeah, I'm constantly learning how to do things properly, and it helps that I don't do a lot of the Hat in Time live commentary. Helps that I do it in post. It helps me focus on the game. It also means I can record a lot more in bulk, because wowzers did I record a lot, but I'll get into that probably when we get into level 6. Also, I really should have made that jump, and that one too. But it doesn't matter because we are at the end of the stage. Let's get out of this hellhole. It's been really stinky. The birds pooped on the freaking fence because of course they did. Are the birds wearing pants? That's something I don't actually know. Let's actually see in the cutscene if they're wearing pants. Because if they're not, that gives them a perfect... Oh, they are. Well, shit. Quite literally. But now, let's head back into the rounds. Let's see we get a good reward with the color scheme that I really thought I already had. Alrighty, well... That stage sucked, but this next stage is actually pretty interesting. And is actually my favorite time rift of the game. It actually went from my least favorite time rift to my absolute favorite. And one of the reasons is the music. The music in this upcoming time rift is amazing. And you know what? I'm actually going to shut up because you guys deserve to hear it. So, I'll talk to you in a minute. Enjoy the wonders of Battle of the Birds time rift. Dude, I made that jump. That's bullshit.
That's some bullshit right there.
That was a terrible Arnold impression. I am so sorry. But anyway, you get the idea. This music, man. I listened to this song so many times while working on homework. You have no idea. It is by far just my absolute favorite. And the reason is... I should have made that jump. That's totally the reason. No. The reason for it is because it's very complex. I like songs that are very complex and interesting. Ones that have layers and stuff and you can actually dissect them. Like, this timer really does tell me... Excuse me. Had a burp there for a second. It tells me the story of Deadbird Studio. It shows that there's, a lot of passion behind it, but there's always a hint of darkness in this area. Like, there's always something going wrong just behind your back. I didn't mean to pause there for a moment, but it really does feel like that. I really do like that. This song is actually a remix of the basement theme from level 6. And it's bizarrely better here because, I don't know, I like the instrumentation better. It just it flows a lot better. It doesn't sound quite as, oh, happy, cheery. It feels very. I see you, puzzle piece. It feels very flowing and mysterious, which kind of defines Deadbird Studio as a chapter just in general, because there's always that edge of mystery that this chapter has. Like, you feel like there's something wrong going on, but you have to keep playing along because you want to see how this game ends. You want to see how this chapter unfolds and see who wins, who loses, and see exactly what goes on. And yeah, like I said, I think this particular song just embodies this chapter. And honestly, this stage kind of embodies what chapter 2 is all about as well. It's actually one of the more complex stages, if not. Actually, it's not the most complex stage because that's in Nyakaza Metro. But unlike Nyakaza Metro, this actually does feel like you are running around in parts of that world. That you are investigating this strange place that you didn't know existed. This kind of rundown studio that you just. I don't know. I don't know where I'm going with this. Basically, I like this stage. I like it a lot, and I really wish that the other stages were like this. Oh, I just thought of another thing that I liked about it. I like how open this is. A lot of this area is very open. You can explore at your heart's content. It's not a very big world, but it feels big. It feels a lot bigger than it is. And that's actually one of the reasons I like this stage so much. I like looking around. I like feeling kind of lost because this is definitely more of a maze than the other ones. Whereas the other ones are a little more straightforward, this one kind of goes for something different and goes with something I kind of wish Chapter 2 would have gone with, more of a labyrinthian style. It would have made it stand out more, and that's just me. Although, because this feels so complex, it really makes me wish this was level 6. Like they actually made the time rift level 6, and this is where you encountered the boss. Like, imagine if you went through this weird rift and it actually had story relevance. Instead of, like, the little story pieces and stuff, your mission is to get to the boss because they are hiding deep inside the time rift. It's their thoughts against yours, and you have to be able to beat them in order to get your timepiece. But that's just me. I kind of wish that at least one of them would have gone with that route, and because this one is so complex, I really wish it was this one. And honestly, I kind of wish this was just level 6 in general, because level 6 just, it's kind of boring, honestly. This trims a lot of the fat, and it still feels like a whole stage, but whatever. Level 6 is a fun stage. It's a very open stage. And it doesn't matter anyway, because we are at the end of the rift. The final of the puzzle pieces is hanging out and to the right. So just go ahead and grab that beautiful thing, and let's get the heck out of here. Also, this would have been a fun boss arena, I'm just telling you. Now smack that thing. Smack it good. Smack it real good. I don't know what that song is, but anyway. Strike a pose. Number 28. We end off on an even number, finally. Now then, let's see what the story is. There once were two birds watching television. They seen a word they wanted. They decided they wanted it, so they rented a movie studio, and they instantly hated each other. The end. And now let's see what the roulette wheel brings us. That looks very good, but let's see what else it offers. That looks pretty good too. And you get a dud. I don't like that reward very much. Anyway, so yeah, one more thing before we go. You can actually attack Roomba. I didn't know that until my practice playthrough, and I found that so hilarious. She's actually a pretty good source of puns, as she never runs out, and she has a lot of funny things to say, but I'm getting ahead of myself. Next time, we take on the boss level. See you guys then. I'm CoreCat13. Bye.